Let's reminisce on some fond memories attached to the show. We've had, actually, both of you, we've had people ringing up who were actually in the auditions first time around and remember lining up with the likes of you and Brinsley and going forwards for parts. Mm-hmm. And it was... Can you tell us about your memories attached to those very, very early days when the auditions first started for the series? Was it a big, big deal?
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah.
It was absolutely huge. I mean, both Michael and I had actually done quite a bit of work before. Michael had worked with a director before, I hadn't. So I was a new girl to this particular outfit, but I'd done quite a lot of TV work. So I kind of went in thinking, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing here. And then suddenly, there you were with these thousands of people, and you had a kind of label on you, Gillian, and you were teamed up together. And I reckoned that Peter Firth was definitely going to get Scooper. So I was absolutely determined to try and be in his group when we actually did the auditioning bit. And my mother has a fond memory of me apparently going into the loo and working out, while nobody was there, a little secret something so that I could get the part by coming up with some kind of number, which is hysterical. I don't remember that, but I do remember the audition process being very grueling. And I also remember that when I actually got the part, my mum and dad weren't sure really whether I should be away from school for 6 months. And I remember kind of wailing and pleading and saying, I must do the show, I must do the show. And I've lived to regret it ever since. It's been fabulous.
Michael, I mean, how gruelling was it for you? Or were you one of the ones that sailed through in the beginning?
I don't know about sailing through. I suddenly found myself there, and they said, right, you're going to be here for the next 9 months. And that was tremendously exciting. This was sort of the winter of '69.
Because it was, in my memory, as a kid growing up at that time, there was a run of TV shows that it sort of very neatly fitted into. It was if there was. In the mid-'60s, it was Batman, and then it moved into the Partridge Family and the Brady Bunch, and that's what Double Deckers had. It had those magical ingredients about it that will always be in there as well. Okay, so I'm going to ask very obvious questions here, but what was it like working together as a gang of kids?
It was wonderful. Simple as that.
Gillian, I'm assuming that's the same answer from you as well.
Well, yeah, but I think I was outrageously snobbish. I kind of saw myself, I'm not one of these kids, I'm a dancer and I'm a singer and heavens. And I think I was really rather off. I don't know why Michael's nice to me at all. I think I was poisonous. But I do remember I adored the singing and the dancing. I mean, in a way, it was my training ground. Sorry, car going by here, in the middle of deepest Sussex. It was where I learnt so much of my trade, I guess, as a performer. But I learnt to be able to work with amazing people. I mean, we did have incredible guest people coming on.
And Melvin Hayes was obviously a regular on the show as well, sort of one of the greats of the period.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. And Mel was he was the kind of coach for us, and he also wrote quite a lot of it, and he was a constant character in it, and he worked with us. We did there were sort of drama workshops, and there were dance workshops, and all those sorts of things to get us ready for this. We didn't just kind of turn up and do it, really.
How? What was the level of celebrity like when you went back to the real world after? How long would the series take to film?
It took until about August 70. So we were on for 9 months. 9 months,
a 9 months blocked out 9 month filming period. So when you went back to the real world, what was it when it was being transmitted?
I've never been back to the real world.
He's in the den. He's still in the den.
I tell you, it's actually true. It was those magic potions. He kind of made all these scientific things up, and he's not the same Michael Audreson we know and love. I think
if only it were all so true.
Yeah, well, and Peter's gone on to do Spooks, which says a lot. So, really, no, it was an extraordinary experience, and I think actually the real world, we didn't realise how successful it was going to be. I remember...
It was huge, wasn't it?
It was.
It's not just me and nostalgia. It was huge.
It was huge, and I think it was a shock to the BBC, actually, because one of the things you mentioned in the line of shows it came in, it was very American, and one of the things that the English broadcasters didn't quite get was the fact that would have an appeal. They thought it would be too Americanized. English audience, but actually they loved it.
That was so much a part of the appeal, because even as a kid you're aware of a different filming technique, or a different film quality that comes with American broadcasts.
It was a very expensive show. It was done on film, which at the time was unusual. You know, television series tended to be done on tape at that point, and so they definitely. I mean, we were told Roy and Harry, who made the series, did say to us, this is going to be a big series. It was very expensive at the time.